Want to be sure you are getting the most out of your retirement? For all the years of your retirement? That's the primary goal of More Living with Jim Brogan and our Dollars and Cents segment, where we provide you with an important financial tip that will help positively impact the quality of your life in retirement. And now, here's Jim with this week's Dollars and Cents tip.
Do you need a trust, or is a will sufficient to pass your assets to your loved ones? You know, I get that question a lot, and really what that's asking is, do I need a revocable living trust? Because, you know, you're looking at what legal document is going to control your stuff and get it to who you want it to go to, maybe create restrictions, you know, all that kind of stuff. But what legal document delivers it to those places? Is it your will, or do you have everything in a living trust, or you name a living trust as beneficiary? And we get that question a lot. And it's interesting because there are some states around the country where you definitely don't want to have property, real property, not in a living trust. So the most common reason is because anything that your will is going to control in terms of how it goes to whomever, it has to go through probate. Probate in Latin actually means prove the will. So if you have an asset that is going to be governed by your will at death, by definition, it is going through probate. Now, if that asset is in a living trust, then it does not go through probate. And so now it's also important to understand other things, like if you name a beneficiary on an account, the beneficiary designation overrides everything. It supersedes the will. It supersedes the trust document. All that matters legally is what's on the beneficiary form. Now, if you name the trust as beneficiary, that will put it in there. But if the if the beneficiary names your kids and everything else is in a trust, the IRA is going to the kids. It's not going into the trust. So it's critically important to how these things are passed. The only way you can get real property, though, to your kids, you know, is with without probate, is with a living trust. Now, Tennessee, what's our probate process like? It's really not that complicated. Our probate, all of our, honestly, estate planning laws in the state of Tennessee, we're one of the best in the country at giving people ease, efficiency, save on taxes. I mean, we don't have any inheritance or death tax. You know, most states do. I could go on and on and on. So, if those of you listening today, those of you that have been executors before, if I did a straw poll and asked you about the probate process more here in Tennessee, most likely half of you'd probably say it really wasn't much to it, and the other half might say it was a pain in the neck. Tennessee, comparatively to other states, is not terribly difficult. So the reason I bring that up is, you can get all of your assets to your kids without probate, without a trust, just by naming beneficiaries and how you title assets. But you can't do that with your real property, your house, and other real property. So, the point is, if you do planning with a living trust as opposed to a will, then it's going to cost you more money up front. Now, then it may be that your kids don't have to hire an attorney when you pass away, and it saves them money in the end because they don't have to probate and they don't have to pay an attorney to help them probate. So all those are factors. But, if, in my opinion, and I'm not an attorney, okay, but I talk to attorneys all the time, and in my opinion, if you don't have a lot of real property or a large estate, several $1 million, then it's probably not worth spending the extra money to have a living trust, unless there are extenuating circumstances with your beneficiaries or something like that. So now, having property in multiple states, that is a classic reason why you would consider a living trust, because the properties are probated in the state where that property is. So if you have a beach condominium in South Carolina, that's going to be probated in South Carolina. So if you do a living trust, you can put that property in the trust. It doesn't have to be probated. All right. But just be careful, because I have found a lot of attorneys, they kind of firmly believe in one or the other. Like, I believe you should do everything through your will. Others will say, I believe you should almost always do things through living trust. And the answer's in the middle. You know, and to me, a good attorney is going to ask you what it is you're wanting to accomplish, listen to that, and then kind of show you the different ways to accomplish what you're trying to get and help you pick the one that's most ideal for your needs. So, but it is very, very important to understand how are things passed to your heirs when you pass away, and then how will they receive those assets? Will they get them all up front? Will it be over time? Do you need any kind of controls or protections for the kids? All very, very important questions that need to be answered.
That's our Dollars and Cents segment for this week. You can find this week's Dollars and Cents segment and others by visiting BroganFinancial.com.